Hello, welcome back to another pregnancy update. This week I'm 14 weeks pregnant with my second child. I already have a 1-year-old called Grace and I'm documenting my pregnancy journey on this channel. So if you want to follow along my journey, then please do feel free to subscribe and like and comment below so that I can continue to put out more pregnancy content. But let's get into the week 14 update. If you don't follow me over on Instagram, this might be the first time that you're seeing me with my short hair. I cut about 8 inches off my hair this week and donated it to the Little Princess Trust, which is a charity that makes like real hair wigs for young girls and women who have lost their hair, usually due to illness such as like chemotherapy treatment or alopecia. So it's a charity that I really admire and believe in, and luckily I had enough hair to donate and therefore I've gone for this short cut. But anyway, if you want to know a bit more about that and a bit more about the work that they do, then head over to my Instagram to check it out. So this week, baby is the size of a pear and baby has started to be able to taste things that I'm eating. So I hope this baby likes chocolate and pasta because that is basically the diet that I'm living off now. Actually, speaking of diet, I haven't really spoken a lot about cravings this time because I guess with Grace, like they're quite similar that they were with Grace, so it doesn't feel very new to me. But in my first trimester, I just really craved very, very cold things. And then in the last couple of weeks, I've really craved sushi. I don't actually eat fish, so just like veggie sushi and like gyoza and all that kind of stuff. There's a little supermarket near us that has a fresh sushi bar, so I've been going there most days for lunch and it's just really like fresh and tangy. So I've been enjoying that, and probably baby has been enjoying that as a result as well. Babies are also starting to develop their hairline now and hair is growing on their head. Baby can also now hiccup and grasp their umbilical cord in utero. So lots of changes taking place every week. It always amazes me how fast they change and grow and learn new skills. I just can't wait for them to be here now. So in terms of me this week, sticking on the food theme, I have found that although my sickness has pretty much gone, a couple of evenings I've still had that like wave of nausea hit me, and luckily I've still got some of my anti-sickness tablets to take, so I've been taking those when it comes on. But I've also really noticed quite a few food aversions this week, just where I'm not having those anti-sickness tablets all the time, so I feel like it's like surfacing itself in my attitude to food. So if I'm not feeling very well and I eat during that time, whatever I've eaten then reminds me of that nausea in the future. So I've been put off quite a few foods. I definitely can't go anywhere near the bin, and even the fridge is a little bit of a struggle for me at the moment, with my sense of smell still being really good. It just is overwhelming and makes me feel quite ill. So although the sickness is gone in terms of like vomiting, etc., I'm still noticing those like unpleasant symptoms sticking around, like like aversions to different foods and smells. I've continued to feel like flutters this week, just every now and then. They're not regular, and it's usually like it was last week when I'm just like laying completely flat, that I can feel movement, and it almost feels like, I know people describe it as like a bubble popping, but it's like a rising and falling sensation for me. So it's really exciting to know that baby's starting to wriggle, and I'm starting to like build that connection with them that you do when you start to get to know their movements and their routine and stuff. I am surprised at how quickly and how early in this pregnancy I'm feeling those like flutters and movements, but they do say that you feel them a lot earlier with your second pregnancy. So I'm excited to see how they continue in the next few months. One of the things that's come back this week, which I spoke about a few weeks ago, is the grinding and clicking and painful hips. So I had really bad hip pain a few weeks back. I think it was around my 12-week scan. And this week it's been less like painful, but I've just noticed that when I move my legs apart, like to swing out of bed or to get out of the car, they're like grinding and clicking as I go. So definitely I think some sort of pelvic girdle pain potentially, which I'll speak to my midwife about when I see her in a couple of weeks' time. It's not causing me too much discomfort at the moment, although it was pretty bad a few weeks ago when it first started, but I am concerned about how that will obviously develop as I get bigger and heavier, and how my hips will be able to cope with that, which I didn't really experience last time. I think I'm noticing, obviously, that it's my second pregnancy. Like I was more, all of these things were completely new to me the first time round, but also I'm probably noticing it more because there's a smaller gap and my body has only really had a year to recover in between pregnancies. So although that didn't concern me when we were looking to start to grow our family, now that I am pregnant, I think, oh God, I haven't actually given my body that much of a rest. And I'm hoping that I can just continue to cope with like these more like physical symptoms as they come on, and that I can deal with them and keep them under control with pain relief, etc. when I need to. I spoke last week about my mood, and I'm thinking about just giving you an update on my mood every week anyway, because it does fluctuate so much, and I think mental health in general, but particularly mental health in pregnancy, isn't really spoken about a lot. And it is a really trying time. Like there's so much going through your head anyway. All of the hormones give rise to like emotional responses to things, and I think just being like up and down in my mood is actually quite normal, whereas for me, usually a non-pregnant me, I'm probably quite stable. At the minute I'm finding myself to be a bit up and down. Actually this week compared to last week where I was feeling really quite low, I'm feeling a lot brighter and a lot more like, what's the word? It's not like optimistic, because it's not like I've not got things to look forward to. It's just I'm taking each day as it comes, and when I wake up in the morning, I've not got that really low, like black cloud feeling that I was having before. So I'm feeling a lot brighter this week. I think one thing that's definitely helped, which seems really trivial, but it's definitely made a massive difference to me, is getting up and getting myself showered and dressed. I'm putting on a bit of makeup every day and maybe like styling my hair a little bit every day. That seems to really be helping to like elevate my mood. It makes me feel like ready to tackle the day then, rather than what I was doing before was kind of, if I wasn't feeling very well or I was just feeling a bit low, like just kind of dragging myself from bed to my desk, and it just it doesn't set me up for the right type of day. So doing that this week has definitely helped, and I think as a result of that, amongst other things, I'm feeling a lot happier this week. Appointment wise, I haven't got anything to update on this week because there's no appointments around this sort of time. Obviously it's been a couple of weeks since my scan, and I've got a couple of weeks to go to my next midwife appointment. I have, however, had my appointment through for my 20-week scan. So I've put that in the diary. That's really exciting. I still haven't heard from my obstetrician, or well, what will be my obstetrician, I guess, about my referral that was made by my midwife. If you've missed that update and you want to know a little bit more about it, you can watch my pregnancy Q&A. But basically, I had quite a traumatic first delivery with Grace, and the recovery process for us both was really long. So I am electing or requesting a C-section this time. I've spoken to my midwife about it and she was really supportive. I just need to go and meet with an obstetrician and talk through why I want a C-section and what my potential other options will be. I'm hoping that won't be a big deal and that we can come to an agreement quite quickly. But I know some people really have trouble with that, so that does play on my mind. I guess that's why I'm anxious to receive that referral, and I'd rather do it sooner than later. So hopefully around the time of my 20-week scan, I'd really like to get in and talk to my obstetrician. So let me show you my bump for this week. I've just noticed that I've got like a stain on there. I don't even know what that is. Probably some of Grace's like milk or something, whatever. Yes, so bump is becoming a bump and not a big dinner. It's becoming more firm as the days go on. I'm looking forward to starting my gap and grow because it gives you a sense of how high up on your abdomen your uterus comes. Because at the moment it feels like bump and then like a squish of organs above. So it'd be nice for it to become like more of a curve rather than at the minute it's a bit like the top and then the bottom, if that makes sense. I've actually got a wedding next week, and it's I'm wearing quite like a tight fitted dress and I want it to look like a baby bump. So hopefully on that day it's plain ball and it's not just like a big load of jelly. So I think that's everything for my week 14 update. If you're interested to see a little bit more about my pregnancy journey day to day, then head over to my Instagram because I'm very active over there and post every day on my stories and on my grid and stuff. So you'll be able to see a lot of the more like ad hoc bits of my life, and I post a lot about Grace over there as well, so you get to see her. It's really exciting actually to think about like, will this baby look like Grace? Will there be like family resemblance? I'm assuming that there will, because Grace is very much like, she's got my husband's colouring. I think we're quite similar like facially. So yeah, excited about that. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, then please consider subscribing so you can continue to follow along my pregnancy journey, and I will see you next week for the week 15 update. Bye.